So here it is, the top 10. The top 10 of my favourite albums of the 90s. And here in the background are some albums that didn't make the top 100, but I love them anyway, so I thought I'd include them. Here I am over here. I thought I'd do a background, a great personal expense, because I'll have to put these away afterwards, and it's a pain. But hey, look, there's some great albums in the background that didn't make the top 100. The top 10 is shoo, down here. And ha! Such production values. Right, so here we are. My top 10 albums of the 90s. And there's going to be no surprises here. If you pay attention to my musical tastes at all, genuinely, you're going to be like, yeah, I don't really like that one. I want to put that one that high. But this is my top 10. We keep going over this. You're not going to find any of the albums you like in this top 10 unless you have pretty much the same musical taste as me, which some of you do, which is great. And here we go. Number 10. Actually, I'm going to say as well before I start. I made these decisions based on basically how happy the music makes me, how much joy it's brought to my life over the years. My arms look ridiculously long from this angle, don't they? Help me. Getting distracted. Yeah, great personal joy. Some of these albums, they came out and I've never stopped listening to them, like regularly. And whenever the songs come on random, they don't get skipped. And they still fill me with virtually the same joy as they did when I first heard them. So I based a lot of my decisions on that, because happiness is key. And music should make you happy. I don't think music should make you miserable, and it shouldn't make you feel angry or riled or anything like that. It's all this kind of like, oh, I love it so much, it makes me cry. Happiness. And that said, my top 10, my number 10 favourite album of the 90s, No Limits by Too Unlimited. I honestly can't tell you how often this album has made me happy, because with the exception of the ballad, I know I've been told off for slagging off ballads before, but with the exception of Where Are You Now and maybe Shelter on a Rainy Day, this is perfect. This makes me so happy from beginning to almost end. No Limit, one of the greatest songs ever made. Tribal Dance, Faces, Let the Beat Control Your Body, and all the others on here, honestly, genuinely, I would take this every single day over any, typically, rock album. I know what I mean. It's when you go to the record fair and you see all the stores, like all the stuff that people should be collecting, your Led Zeppelins and your other people like that, whose names are escaping me right now, that I just go, oh, there's something good. Too Unlimited make me really happy, and No Limits plural is my number 10 album of the 90s. Other side of the scale, my number 9 album of the 90s, Tori Amos, Boys for Pele, which probably technically is a little bit like on the kind of like because I did listen to this album a lot when I was feeling sad, but it still makes me happy because I don't remember it as being a sad album. I just remember being sad. But these songs bring me a lot of joy as well. Singles from this were Cut a Light Sneeze, Tallulah, Professional Widow, but not the version you know, the original version with the cow in the background. Hey Jupiter, all remixed for single releases apart from the first one. But the structure of this album is fantastic. It's like it was made for being on a 2-disc vinyl, because it's like a kind of like opener, then the songs, and then an opener, then the songs, like a short little opener and the songs. The structure of this album is perfect. This is an original press from 96, and it's tatty as hell. But I bought it tatty as hell back in the day. There's a small faded receipt inside it as well. It's the clear vinyl, which I don't think is particularly rare. I don't know why there's a small faded receipt inside it. Oh, the mysteries. How did it fade? How did it get there? What does it say? I'll never know. I'll put it back inside just in case future generations are interested and can analyse it. Number 9, Tori Amos, Boys for Pele. Number 8. Now this is only out on CD, which might give you a clue. I think it's the top ranked album. Yeah, this is the top ranked album that isn't available on vinyl. Kylie Minogue, Impossible Princess. Justice for Impossible Princess, and I think that it does get quite a lot of justice these days. People really do love this album, just not commercially. Singles, Some Kind of Bliss, Did It Again, Breathe. Breathe is one of Kylie's best songs ever. And it's a really good, solid album that showcased her ability to change her style and still make it really good pop music. At the time, it didn't come across that way, but it does. And can you hear Storm, Kira, whatever, raging outside? Anyway, again, makes me really happy. Actually, it made me really sad at the time because it didn't do anything, and the album got pulled, and everyone said she was trying to be too cool and she was trying to be indie. It wasn't that at all. This was Kylie being pop in a different form and changing her style, which we understand these days is how she operates. Love it. Impossible Princess, 8th favourite album of the 90s. And swiftly on to 7th favourite album of the 90s. The other one, Kylie Minogue from 1994. I've not been doing favourite tracks off each album. Damn it. I might do a recap towards the end. I might mix it up a little bit. From the angle that I'm looking at this at, because I'm doing the record on my screen, it looks like Kylie is slowly crawling towards the record button, like she's going to turn it off. So if that happens, that would be weird. A bit like The Ring. Wonderful. This album is wonderful. Confide in Me, again, one of the greatest pop songs ever made, let alone one of Kylie's greatest songs. Put Yourself in My Place, Where Is the Feeling, all singles off this. And Where Is the Feeling, again, justice for Where Is the Feeling, because in this version and the version that got released as a single and the full 10-minute version of the Where Is the Feeling single, absolutely impeccable, absolutely perfect. And I hope that someday that people realise that that's the case. And Kylie, and she performs it live. I'd quite like to hear her do all the talky bits, but this is perfect of its time as well. And I think it stands up well. It does sound a little bit dated, but I still think it stands up well. And if you've never heard the original version of Time Will Pass You by Toby Legend, give it a watch. Give it a listen. Because I watched the video because it's such a cheaply made video, but it's amazing for it. And I think if I were to make a music video, that's the music video I would make. So yeah, I don't know why I said that. I've never thought that before. 10987, 6th favourite album of the 90s. Shakespears Sister, Hormonally Yours. And last year I heard the song performed live for the first time and it was wonderful. Stay, I Don't Care, Goodbye Cruel World, and Hello Turn Your Radio On were the singles off this. Again, it's pretty much solid from beginning through to end, and it has an amazing story attached to it as well, because it caused them to fall apart. Oh yeah, My 16th Apology was also a single. It caused them to fall apart, and they explain that, and it's a good story. I'm not going to tell it now, this is my time. This album also really reminds me of being covered in monkey poo. Genuine and true story, because I bought the album when I was in Gibraltar, and there ended up being a situation where I slapped a pile of monkey poo and it splattered all over me. So there's a story you never expected to hear. 6th favourite album of the 90s. Shakespeare Sister, Hormonally Yours. 5th favourite album of the 90s. Kylie again, Rhythm of Love. I struggled which one would be the top ranking, because this is so close, it's so hard to do, but I took it on the merit of what sparked happiness the most, and Better the Devil You Know, again, one of the greatest pop songs ever made. What Do I Have to Do? Shocked, amazing. Step Back in Time, great pop song. But then you've got all the album tracks as well that were also really solid pop songs. In particular, Things Can Only Get Better. If you've not heard that, give it a listen. And that should have been a single. I mean, it should have been one of those things where every single song off this album. No, I even really like The World Still Turns, even though it's the slow one. Again, consistently made me happy over the years. This one, it's wonderful to hear some of the songs performed live on the Anti-Tour. Oh, there needs to be another Anti-Tour. I'm at 10 minutes. I've had most of my time so far, and I need to go back, so I'm going to move on. 4, happy, huge, happy. Bananarama Pop Life. Again, gutted when it didn't do anything, but what an album. Why delivering their thing in a different style after the Stock Aitken and Waterman and stuff. It's really solid. I love every track on this. Only Your Love, Preacher Man, Long Train Running, Tripping on Your Love should have been huge. I don't know why it wasn't, because record companies meddle. And it just makes me really happy. It's totally a 90s dance style album. Touches on the indie style at the time, like the Soup Dragons and the Farm and people like that. It draws those influences in, and it's great. It's a wonderful album, and I will love it forever. Now it gets really tricky, and no one's going to be surprised by this top 3, but I put Björk debut at 3, Human Behaviour, Venus as a Boy, Big Time Sensuality, and Violently Happy with the singles, and also Play Dead, but it's not on this. It got added later on, but you know what Björk's music means to me. It causes a well of joy inside me every single song that she's done. And this is my number 3, and it's so close because it could have been my number 2, but the thing that picked it to number 2 was Post, and I made that decision purely based on the fact that Hyper Ballad is maybe my favourite song ever made, maybe, but I refuse to decide because it changes all the time. We got Army of Me, possibly, maybe, I Miss You, Isabel, all singles off this album. Did I cover them all off? Oh, We're So Quiet, her biggest hit, not indicative of her style. This is an original press of the pink vinyl as well, which I found in a shop in Edinburgh for a really good price. Björk rocks my world completely. There's no bad mood that Björk's music can't destroy. There's no bad mood. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm going to go through now before I reveal my number 1, which most of you have probably already guessed. Let's face it. No Limit. Hey Jupiter. Breathe. Confide in Me. Oh, this is going to be tricky. I'm going to say today, Goodbye Cruel World. Better the Devil You Know. Only Your Love. Oh dear me. Oh dear. Oh, how do I choose? I'm gonna go for One Day. Honestly, the lyric, the beautifulest fireworks are burning in the sky just for you. Just hearing her sing that live, I just went cried instantly. Hyper Ballad, of course. My favourite album, with 1 minute to spare, I got to cover this in a minute. My favourite album of the 90s, Björk, Homogenic. I say it all the time. This is my favourite album of all time. Every single song on this is 100 out of 100 for me. The only one that kind of let it down was All Neon Light, but then when I heard the version of it live in the Vulnicura tour, it just put that one, and then this becomes if it was a max out of 1,000, it'd be 1,000 out of 1,000. This is impeccable from beginning to end. Yoga, Bachelorette, Alarm Call, Hunter, All Is Full of Love. Impeccable singles. Iconic cover, iconic sounds like nothing else. And it's my favourite album of the 90s, and actually my favourite album of all time, and not even other Björk albums could unseat it because it's that perfect. 10 seconds to go. Thank you very much for watching my 100 albums of the 90s.